Let me therefore highlight, not necessarily in an order of importance, 4 of the main priorities and challenges as I see them for the next months and next few years. The first is action for maternal and child health. Maternal and child health are finally getting more attention. Canada has been pushing the G8 for a wide focus on both child and maternal health. Several other meetings, including the Women Deliver Conference in Washington earlier this week, are focusing on maternal and child health. There has recently been encouraging news published in The Lancet. You may have seen those studies that have shown that progress has been achieved in reducing maternal mortality and children mortality. In many ways, I think we can be proud that the Global Fund has made key contributions in this progress, among other things by protecting millions of children and mothers against malaria infection, or preventing mother-to-child transmission of HIV and providing treatment to women with HIV and/or tuberculosis. The Global Fund has also adopted a progressive strategy on gender equality. Under this strategy, we support a range of interventions to enhance gender equity, increase women's participation in decision-making, and protect women against gender-based violence. At the same time, nobody disputes that a lot more can be done and must be done, but it remains unclear whether bold action will follow the talk. This would require significant additional resources for maternal and child health, something that I raised with Prime Minister Harper earlier this afternoon, and not a redistribution of resources from other underfunded areas of health and development to maternal and child health. It would also require a comprehensive approach, including funding for family planning and safe abortions, rather than an approach that failed to include those key aspects of sexual and reproductive rights. The HIV struggle has highlighted to the world the ways in which subordination of women and politicized denial of comprehensive reproductive services and information to women directly undermine health and rights of women. Action for maternal and child health needs to include a real championship of the rights of women, including their sexual and reproductive rights. The Global Fund is ready and committed to continue playing an important role in maternal and child health. If indeed additional resources become available, we could take on added responsibilities, such as hosting a new facility focused on maternal and child health at the fund, as was suggested in a recent editorial in the Globe and Mail. The second priority and challenge is to stop pitching HIV treatment against HIV prevention. We need to continue scaling up both. And as I prepared for today, I went back to remarks that I delivered at the International AIDS Conference in Mexico 2 years ago. I celebrated then the progress on access to treatment, and I'm pleased that we had made more progress since. At that time, 3 million people in developing countries were accessing treatment. 2 years later, as I said, it is 5 million. With adequate resources, we can continue scaling up treatment and ultimately provide access to everyone in need. As I also noted in Mexico City, that while the need to drastically scale up HIV prevention efforts had dominated the AIDS conference, we had finally, quote, moved on from the fruitless debate between prevention and treatment that has plagued us in the past. Sadly, today, it seems to me that that assessment was premature. This is clearly an area in which we have gone backwards. Indeed, some have recently argued that the Global Fund and other funders are investing too much in HIV treatment, and other funders as well. They are wrong. At the Global Fund, we support programs developed at the country level that pursue an integrated and balanced approach covering both HIV prevention and treatment and broader elements of comprehensive care. Furthermore, there are strong public health arguments for investing in treatment. We cannot successfully prevent the further spread of HIV unless we scale up both prevention and treatment. We know that people are less likely to come for a test if they cannot access treatment, if the only consequence of being found positive is discrimination and rejection from the community with no hope for treatment. And now we have evidence, and some of that evidence comes from Canada, from the BC Centre for Excellence, that antiretroviral treatment plays a key role in decreasing HIV transmission. So we must move on from this fruitless debate and scale up both prevention and treatment. The third priority is to take serious action on HIV and human rights. In countries all over the world, people living with and communities affected by AIDS are still too often being denied their rights. This is despite the evidence that protection of human rights is central to an effective response to AIDS. Early on, people such as Jonathan Mann powerfully articulated that public health interventions can only be effective if affected people are empowered and informed and participate in decisions that concern their health. He worked tirelessly to bring to the world's attention the basic action that improved health, the basic notion, that improved health cannot be achieved without basic human rights, and that these rights are meaningless without adequate health. Human rights violations continue to happen, despite the fact that governments, indeed all UN member states, have committed themselves, including in the General Assembly in 2006, in the political declaration on HIV/AIDS, and I quote here, to intensify efforts to ensure the full enjoyment of all human rights by people living with HIV and members of vulnerable groups. There has been progress in some areas, most notably the United States and more recently China have repealed restrictions on entry of people living with HIV. We should celebrate this. I know some of you were in a session earlier today discussing legal issues in Canadian immigration policy for people with HIV, and I remember well the discussion in 2006 preceding the Toronto International Conference on AIDS that led to significant improvements in this respect. So I would like to commend you for fighting any discriminatory restrictions that fail to recognize the contributions people living with HIV can make to society. In other areas of human rights, however, we have made little, if any, progress. There are many examples to that, but let me just highlight a few. Last month, I was in Malawi with UNAIDS Executive Director Michel Kazatchkine, just days after 2 men were sentenced to 14 years in prison with hard labor for so-called indecent practices between males. We discussed the case with President Mutharika. He said that the case was opening a debate in Malawi around the health, societal, cultural, and human rights ramifications of laws criminalizing homosexuality. And as I'm sure you know, the President has since granted presidential pardon to the jailed couple.